All right, what is going on and how are y'all doing today on a Friday? It's Friday brunch with your Unc here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Also, simulcasting in the best Atlanta Falcons Facebook group ever. I say again, ever. Atlanta Bird Gang. Glad to have everyone here. Thank y'all for joining me. It's a Friday. It's a gloomy Friday if you're down here in Georgia. As a matter of fact, kind of batten down the hatches a little bit. They're saying it's supposed to be some windy and a little bit of stormy weather. The good thing is it should go by pretty quickly. But man, I'm trying to tell y'all what is going on. Lots of little news here and there since the last time I joined you all last week. Lots of stuff to talk about. Lots of things. The main thing I was coming on to really briefly discuss was just, wow, it's just so many options out here for this team. And it's very interesting, not just on the platform I'm on, but just to listen to everyone else's ideas and things like that, which I love to do. I love to hear. Contrary to belief, I'm not one of those people that just want you to, hey, I agree with you. I agree with you, which is cool. Don't get me wrong. It's nice to be in sync. But I'm also one of those people that don't like to hear the out of this world or the idea that may be contrary to mine. I like to hear when people disagree with me, as long as you're respectful. You're respectful in disagreement. That's the greatest. That's the greatest. Brother, what's my brother's name? Todrick, who has been on YouTube and appreciate him popping in every time. And me and Todrick's idea of how to build this team going into 2023 couldn't be much more different. But I will say, when you can talk about it as fans and not get so crazy, twisted, it gives you something to think about. There are some things I must admit that I have kind of, mellowed my approach a little bit in some ideas, and there are other ideas that I stand tall in saying, no, I think it should be this particular way. Let's start from the beginning. I am repping our current quarterback, brother number 4. I think maybe you can't. No, you can't. I want to turn around and scare everybody. But let me see if I can do this. Okay, y'all see? So I am repping the man, the guy who is on the team right now, brother Desmond Ridder. I rep him on purpose because he is an Atlanta Falcon. I hope he continues to be an Atlanta Falcon, and I support him as an Atlanta Falcons player. Make that clear. As I've done for 40 plus years. Makes no difference if you're player number 53, if you're repping the brand. Steve is a fan. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but hey, came out good. So I have just heard so many things this week. So many different options, so many different scenarios. Even today, ESPN story saying, the pros of going after Lamar Jackson. I saw something yesterday. The pros of going with Desmond Ridder and bringing in, I think they say Tyler Heineke to come in here and say compete, but honestly, I think if he comes in, I think he's going to back him up. Then I'm still hearing Derek Carr, which I don't agree with, but I could understand. Haven't had as much Jimmy Garoppolo come in here. Haven't had as much as that, but again, there is no, on March 3rd, there is nothing in my makeup that is going to not listen to other people's ideas. I think it's a good idea. Then there was something breaking last night. If you guys watch my buddy Antoine Smitty Smith in the Smitty Sports Machine, and actually 95 North, my brother Berto as well, talk from Ian Rappaport about possibly the thought of Atlanta moving up to the number one position, which to me, I don't know. I mean, in light of the things that have been happening lately locally with Jalen Carter, and I'll get to my thoughts on that a little later. Just the options are everywhere. Possibly a quarterback. Are they truly caught up maybe in what's going on with the quarterbacks? After watching a workout, after talking to them and seeing what their makeup is there a thought to jump up and get Bryce Young? Is there a thought to jump up against CJ Stroud? Now, those two will probably cost you the same draft capital, maybe not the money, but the draft capital it would get to get somebody like Lamar Pride away from Baltimore. Will Levis, is he somebody that is going to jump up on the radar? I saw somebody on CBS saying they think he's going to be the first quarterback taken. So all these things and options, I am just so open to hear what everyone thinks. So I'm going to go straight to it because today, unlike other days, I jumped on here a little late, had to take care of a lot of business. So when we had the Friday brunch, I jump out of here about 2:30. So I'm going to get it started and stop talking to myself. And anything y'all want to talk about, let's bring it up. Let's see what we got. Brother Travis is in the house. What's going on, Travis? Let's go. What's up, Unc? My buddy Winston in here as usual. I appreciate you, Winston. Winston says like and subscribe. Needless to say, I appreciate that. 947. So 53 away, y'all. 947. Appreciate y'all. RC Plane Builder in the house. What's going on? What's going on? RJ is here as usual. Happy Friday to you, my brother. My brother Dre is in the house. What's up, Dre? Thank you for joining us. Kendrick is in the house. Kendrick Sanders, how you doing there, sir? Glad to have you joining us on the Inside the Atlanta Bird Gang. Thank you so much. Chuck, what's up, man? I said, what's up? My Anthony Richard agenda is thriving. Let me tell you something. And Chuck, 2 months ago, I would have probably, if this came up, I would have immediately came out and said, I don't know. He might have to. And then I started thinking about some things, Chuck, and I'm not trying to tell everybody that Anthony Richardson is the end all be all. But I started looking back, and I went back and watched the game against Georgia. I literally went back and watched, and he was hurt. And I saw some of the things that young man did while hobbled. And then I started thinking about it. Yeah, he's probably going to need a little work. And I'm not 100% sure this is the coaching staff possibly that I would want to work with him. I don't know. Just a thought. Judging by what I've seen last year or two. But I look at the talent. And in today's talent, athleticism and arm strength, those are two things you can't teach. And he has both. And it'll be cheaper. It will. I don't want anybody to misconstrue it. I know, but Uncle Steve, the last few weeks you've been talking about Lamar. I sure have. and I have the right to change my mind. Who knows? Maybe that might work. Will Levis, been hearing about his arm strength lately. Maybe that's the answer. I'm not cutting off anybody. I'm not chopping you off at the knees. I'm open for anything. You know what I'm more open for? I'm more open for the team winning. Now. I want the team to win now. And I know it's going to take more than a quarterback. We still got some decisions to make with Caleb McGarry at that right tackle position, whether we let him go, whether we franchise him for that big number at right tackle. Not sure if I'm ready for that, but we'll see. Just a lot to talk about. Lisa in the house. How are you, Lisa? Good to see you today. False Star said, what it do? What it do? If y'all get a chance to watch on YouTube, I had a very ceremonious goodbye to Marcus Mariota. Very short. I don't even think it's a minute and a half. Y'all want to check that out? Please do so. It's my tribute to Marcus Mariota on YouTube. If y'all get to check it out, please support your uncle and look at it for me. Mike Bailey in the house. What's going on, Mike? Good to see you there, sir. Brother Steve, what is going on? What is going on, brother? WCG, what is up? Only thing that might be a problem with Richardson is he might be number one quarterback after the combines because Young might be too small and Stroud is a pocket passer. And here's the danger in that, my friend. I harken back to only 2 years ago when everybody went combine crazy over Zach Wilson. And there was this buzz that, hey, even though he's picked number 2, he might turn out to be better than Trevor Lawrence. And we see how that's working out. So again, all options are on the plate. Now we're going to get some of this stuff cut down come, I think it's Tuesday, when the franchise tag situation is brought up, because barring a blockbuster deal at the last minute, I have a feeling the Ravens are headed to franchise tag land with Lamar. So it'll be interesting to see, because that could be an option thrown out the window. And guess what, y'all? If it happens, so what? We move on to plan B, plan C. You better, as a GM, not throw all your eggs in one basket right now as far as your options concerned. You better be talking to everybody, listening to everybody, listening to trade up, listening to trade down, listen to everything. And I'm sure Terry is. I have faith that he is. And he's going to bring people in here that hopefully Arthur Smith will be able to work with. Dre says, if Ritter is the quarterback going into camp, that's going to be my quarterback going forward until proven wrong. And that's basically what I've said all along. Last year, when they said Marcus Mariota was named the number one quarterback going into training camp, guess what? Everything around Marcus. Week 1, Marcus. Week 2, Marcus. Now, later on, when he started getting a little suspect, it was something else. But yeah, whoever comes out of this thing as the quarterback, that's who you ride with. There's no need to cry over spilled milk about what could have been with somebody else when the season starts. Season starts, quarterbacks on the field, that's who you're going to go with. And that's how I say. But again, this is the option time. This is the time to listen between now and draft day. You're going to hear all kinds of scenarios that everybody's going to be triggered. No, you don't get him. Oh, you're stupid, which I hate when people call people stupid for opinions, because there is no stupid opinion. There's just an opinion. Your opinion might not align with somebody else's. The craziest thing when people do that, but it's not. WTC says, I'd rather have Carr than Ritter. That's interesting, because the more and more I think about it, I'm not sure what Carr is going to ask for. There's something to tell me he's going to ask for a little bit more money than the other thing. I'm not sure. I think he'll ask for a little bit more money. Chuck says, I would love CJ Stroud here too. Oh yeah, CJ Stroud, again, another reel against University of Georgia that he could take to that combine to show that he can play against players who will probably be on that next level. And he was actually doing that before. Dre says, Carr to the Jets, Rodgers staying put. We'll see. We'll see. WGC says, I might be wrong, but I don't think Stroud is an Arthur Smith type quarterback. The problem is I don't even know what an Arthur Smith quarterback is. Matt Ryan, in all fairness, I think you can see the writings on the wall that relationship probably wasn't going to last. Not even so much that he didn't adapt to his offense, but just I think we knew the end was coming. When you saw the regime change and you saw the general manager change and the coach came, people who were not here when he started, I think the writing was on the wall that was probably it for him. So what is an Arthur Smith type quarterback? I don't know. And maybe that's why I don't call it a wild idea to pick up an Anthony Richardson. Yes, are you going to have to wait? There's quite a few people in the fan base that's willing to wait for Desmond Ridder to come around. So what would be the difference? And the young man would be hungry. Richardson's not going to come in there and not try to take the job. So then you get your instant competition that we talked about. Now, the only problem is you got two young quarterbacks, and you would eventually have to bring in a vet just to get them kind of acclimated. Because you think about it, going into last year, Ridder was probably holding the Microsoft Surface most of the time. This year, one way or the other, he'll be competing probably. So it's a whole different animal. Martavia's in the house. What is going on, sir? WCG also says Levis is another quarterback that fits Arthur Smith's system. Again, I think so, but I just haven't seen the full bloom of what Arthur Smith is going to do. I want to say what we were doing last year with Mariota. If that's the plan, we needed an upgraded version of what Mariota was. And folks, that's why people are looking at the athleticism of possibilities of Richardson, of CJ Stroud, of Bryce Young, of Lamar Jackson. That's why people are looking at that. It's not that we're looking at it because, those are just the shiny new trophies that you can bring into Atlanta and fill up the stadium and stuff. That's actually part of it. But you see that offense probably would have worked if the talent level was a little bit upgraded. I think we would have had a good year if I think we would have been in the playoffs if Mariota's level was up, but I think he plateaued. I think you saw him plateau maybe the week we played Carolina the first time. And even in that game, he tried his best to give it away. So maybe that athleticism is what we're looking for. And I just don't see it in I saw some athleticism in Mariota, but I think you probably need a little bit of a next level person to do that. So don't be shocked, man. Don't be shocked, y'all. Anthony Richardson, don't laugh. Chuck could be right on top of that. Darren's in the house. What's going on, man? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Don't work too hard out there, man. Don't work too hard. Facebook user says a young elite quarterback is what we need. The Falcons should not settle for Desmond Ridder. That's been my mantra, and it's going to continue to be. I can still support Desmond Ridder and say we need competition in it. We do. There is nothing that has happened in the last 3 months that makes me feel like Desmond Ridder should be anointed a quarterback. Nothing. And I know there's this swelling. I'm not going to tell people what to think, but you got to bring in somebody to test them, to see somebody other than the second and third string of Tampa Bay in the last week of the year, week 18. You have to. Scooter in the house, what's going on? Say, Terry's going to trick us all. And I hope he does. And I hope whatever the trick is, I hope it's, something positive. I got excited when I started hearing whispers that Chicago might want to give up Justin Fields. Just something, man. And the only thing with the Ritter, everyone's acting like it's just such automatic that he's going to be that guy. I've seen Justin Fields on the field. I've seen his growth go in the right direction. I've seen Lamar Jackson on the field. I've seen what he can do. Now, the rookies, again, they're going to have a learning curve, obviously. But I would at least like to bring in one of those talented quarterbacks that can really push Ritter to the next level. Pieces in the house on Uncle C's Lounge. What is going on? How you doing out there? Chuck also says Anthony could develop the Mariota 2002 offense. CJ Stroud could develop the Matt Ryan 2021 offense. That's true. I like the offense this past year, though. I love the fact that we had moments in the games, some of the games, some of them we should have won, where we were just imposing our will in the run game. I love that. Now, I know a lot of that is going to also see what we end up doing at right tackle and left guard. But I love that part of Arthur Smith's offense. To be able to run the ball and just stuff it down your throat is just really cool. Arthur didn't pick Ryan. He was stuck with him. Look at the quarterbacks. Arthur has gone after mobile quarterbacks. But he also had Ryan Tannehill. And I'm not saying Ryan Tannehill isn't athletic, but he's not as athletic as Marcus Mariota. But yeah, your point is well taken. He didn't pick Matt. He was inherited. That's why I say Matt was probably going to be out the way. He was going to be gone one way or the other. Chuck says, and then you put the right pieces around them and we are cooking. I hear you. What's up, cuz? How you doing, James? Good to see you in the house. Martavia says, just my opinion, but I want to see what we have in Ritter. And if he's the guy, cool. If not, next year's quarterback class looks nice. But see, here's the problem. As a Falcon fan, as an Atlanta Falcon fan, how many wait till next year's do you want? We've been waiting till next year for the last 5 off seasons. Oh, we're going to do this and make the change. Oh, we're going to do that and make the change. Oh, we're going to do this. I know the salary cap. I get all of that. I get the albatross of Julio and Matt Ryan's contract. I get all of that. But now that you have a little bit of an opening, I respect what everyone's saying about, hey, don't mortgage the farm on the possibility of Lamar Jackson. I'm almost hoping, deep down inside secretly, real secret, y'all, I'm almost hoping whatever happens next week is an end-all be-all for Lamar, whether it's good or bad. Because there is a part where you want to say, okay, fantasy land, or we'll really try to pull the trigger on that. Not because I don't want to pull the trigger, just kind of like, okay, before free agency starts, let's see how that's going to play out. Because that's such a big part. And it's this time next week, we'll know. Because they have to tag them before that. So we'll absolutely know. Twan, what's going on, man? How you doing? Everything is everything, my brother. Travis says the Desbians say enough with quarterback talk. The superhero is already. Look, and again, I just always caution people when we anoint before seeing a lot. I don't know about everybody else, but I was there for the Arizona game and the Tampa Bay game. Did he do some nice things in the Tampa Bay game in the second half against the second string? Absolutely. Did he have a nice connection with Drake London? Absolutely. Did he have some mobility to be able to get out? Absolutely. But I also, there's a thing that we all have, and some of us good, some of us bad, just depends. there's an eye test. And my eye test tells me he's okay. But is he that guy? There were things he did okay. My family went to the New Orleans game for his first game ever. We went to that game. First pass, tried to throw the ball out there. And after that, struggled. Decent defense for New Orleans. Next game against Baltimore. Baltimore's defense, quite honestly, you know what? I actually like New Orleans defense better than I like Baltimore's last year. Keeping it real. But he struggled. Arizona's not a juggernaut. But he struggled in that game. So I hear everybody's excitement. I want to be excited. But I also don't want to wait forever for development. For anybody that comes up and tells me why you can't be patient, because I've been being patient the last 5 years at the end of the last savior that we had in here in number 2. I knew from the beginning Marcus Mariota wasn't a long-term answer, but at least I hang in there because he wore the brand. But let's not hurry up and just hand him the keys. I don't know. Big Low in the house. What is going on, brother? How are you doing today? Big Low Country Sports. Y'all check him out on YouTube. He always has some great talk. I was listening to you and Coach Ronnie the other day in your breakdown about Mariota, and you said something that was pretty, and I thought about that. 2022 was really a kind of a wasteful year. And not to the fault that fans shouldn't expect to win and fans shouldn't expect to do things, but what did we really do aside a clear salary in 2022? Maybe you ran the ball a little differently. Maybe we got a chance to run the ball. Maybe you saw some glimpses of what Drake London could do. But for the most part, 2022 is going to be that year that when you look back, you're going to be like, yeah. Push fast forward and get to 2023. That was a very good, astute point you made, my friend, when you were talking about that. What was that? Wednesday, I think, when you were talking. But that was very good points. Dre says, for some reason, I don't trust the Saints. They might be kind of sneaky when it comes to getting a veteran quarterback. Yeah, I don't think it's – look, I know a lot of people are saying it's all between Carolina and Atlanta as far as, going into next year. Yeah, New Orleans, we don't like the Saints for a reason, but just don't sleep on them, man. We can't sleep on them. Dre also says, please, no one jump on the Stetson Bennett. You meant Stetson Bennett train. He's Tim Tebow 2.0. I don't think you'll see anybody jump on the bandwagon from a first-round draft pick. But, shoot, anything after the 4th round, what do you have to lose? Somebody was talking about that when they were talking about, Ritter could be a bust. You can't be a bust in the 3rd round. You can't. I'm sorry. You're not a bust in the 3rd. I define first round and second round, the expectation is much higher in the NFL. You can be a bust in those two. Almost like skipping sports, the NBA. NBA has gotten to the point now where the first round is such garbage that really the only bust can be 1 through 10 because it's so watered down now. Same thing going back to the NFL. After the first 64 players, I mean, you're a guy just trying to make a team. Anything we get out of Desmond Ritter is great. And if it doesn't work out, great. because it's not a big investment. What did I just look at his numbers? Desmond Ritter this year is getting $870,000. Some quarterbacks make that in their sleep. Desmond Ritter, he makes $870,000 this year, $985,000 next year, $1.1 million in 2025. Now there are some who will say, "Well, dang, Steve, that's why we should keep him at number one. That's why he should be the quarterback." The flip side of that argument is maybe that's why he was a third-round draft pick. I would love to give him the opportunity to prove himself. But I'm also thinking, how long do I want to wait for development? I don't know. My brother Rusty, Big Daddy Rusty. How you doing, sir? That baby getting big, man. Hope we stay far away from Richardson. I'm personally still wanting to go up to the number 3 to take Will Anderson. That's just me. Listen, and I don't know if you heard me when you came in, Rusty. Rusty, there are no wrong answers at this point for this organization. It's unfortunate because what position don't we need? I'll run down the positions for you. Offensive line, tackle, we need, because maybe McGarry's gone. Guard, we need. Center, we need. Running back, not so much that Tyler isn't good, but you always could use running back is one of those positions that great one day, hurt the next. You got to have some depth. Wide receiver, yes. Quarterback, yes. Defensive tackle, yes. Edge, yes. Linebackers, yes. Safety, heck yes. Quarterback, yes. Head coach, yeah. Well, let me stop. But we need everything. There isn't a wrong answer. People, when we got Drake London last year, there were people, "Oh, why you waste time on we needed a wide receiver." So Will Anderson, trust me, Rusty, if he puts on, oh Lord, yes. I think Will Anderson can be the next Michael Parsons. My thoughts. Jamal said, Jamal listening to us on Uncle Steve's Lounge, and I'm trying to figure out why this isn't going on here. Well, there you go. Says, "Come on, Unc. Tampa was still playing some of their starters second half, bruh. Some of the game. Yeah, they brought in rotational players too, but they didn't put a third string until the end of the game, just like the Falcons." Hold on one second, bro. Okay, first of all, Jamal, God bless you. They start rotating second strings in the second quarter. Captain America went out of the game after I think they got a turnover or something. How did they get the ball down there that quick? Something happened. And Blaine Gabbert came in 2 plays and threw a touchdown. Then after that, that's when you saw people rotating in. Yeah, technically maybe a couple of starters. Come on, man. I want to give Ritter the benefit of the doubt like anybody else. I thought that throw, if anything came out to me, that throw he threw to Michael Pruitt, Michael Pruitt at the end and zipped the ball right between the defenders.